The alarm bells are ringing across Europe for one of football's brightest young stars, Lamine Yamal. Barely 17, the Barcelona sensation has already become a key figure for both club and country, dazzling fans with his composure, creativity and audacity on the ball. His rise feels almost cinematic, a teenager dominating against seasoned professionals, rewriting records with every match. Yet beneath the wonder lies a growing unease. How much responsibility can a child bear in a sport that devours its own? As Yamal's minutes climb and expectations soar, questions arise not about his talent but about his well-being. Is football truly nurturing its next genius or exhausting him before he even reaches his prime?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play
The fascination surrounding Lamine Yamal is undeniable. Watching him glide past defenders, thread impossible passes, and strike with precision feels like witnessing the rebirth of joy in football. Yet amid the marvel, the deeper narrative is troubling. Modern football's obsession with results and marketability is creating an environment where young talents are being consumed by relentless pressure. Yamal, despite his maturity, is still a teenager. A player whose physical and emotional development is far from complete. Barcelona and Spain seem eager to showcase their golden boy, but the price of such exposure could be steep if not managed carefully. In recent months, Yamal has played more minutes than any teenager should in a top-tier European competition. Between club commitments, international duty and global tours, his workload has been staggering. Barcelona, fighting to regain its dominance, leans heavily on his creativity. Spain, still rebuilding its identity, sees him as the spark to reignite national pride. Both rely on him excessively, not out of malice but desperation. It's the same cycle that has burned out countless young stars before, from Bojan Krikic to Ansu Fati, both of whom were once heralded as the next big thing and later faded under the crushing weight of expectation. Football has a cruel tendency to forget that brilliance needs nurturing, not exploitation. Physical fatigue is only part of the danger. The mental strain, the constant spotlight, the comparisons to Messi, the pressure to perform flawlessly can erode confidence and joy. Yamal plays with a smile today, but how long can that last when every touch is analysed, every mistake magnified, every game treated as a defining moment? Even the most gifted athletes need moments of stillness to grow, yet the modern calendar offers none. Matches, media appearances, and commercial demands blur together until football becomes less a passion and more a burden. Barcelona's management insists they are monitoring his development carefully, but evidence suggests otherwise. In crucial La Liga and Champions League fixtures, when the team struggles, Yamal is rarely rested. He is expected to be the solution, a teenager solving problems created by adults. This dependency may flatter his ability, but endangers his longevity. The club's medical staff and coaches must resist the temptation to use him as a permanent fix. Building a sustainable career requires patience, not constant exposure. Pep Guardiola once warned that talent must be protected from success, and Yamal embodies exactly why. Moreover, Spain's national setup adds another layer of risk. The national team, seeking rejuvenation after years of inconsistency, views Yamal as its new face. His call-ups and heavy usage in tournaments like the Euros, while symbolically powerful, raise legitimate questions. Should a 17-year-old be playing consecutive high-intensity matches at senior international level, barely months after debuting professionally? The short-term reward, a dazzling assist, a record-breaking goal, might thrill fans, but the long-term consequences could be irreversible. Muscle fatigue, chronic injuries, psychological burnout. These are not distant possibilities but immediate threats in today's congested football ecosystem. The responsibility does not lie with one institution alone. It is shared among club management, national associations, agents, and even fans. Supporters must recognize that admiration can turn toxic when it morphs into expectation. Every headline praising Yamal as the next Messi fuels a narrative that no teenager should shoulder. Comparisons, while flattering, are traps. They rob individuality and impose a legacy impossible to replicate. Yamal's journey should not be about replacing anyone, but becoming himself, a player defined by his own rhythm and evolution. Then there's the question of environment. Barcelona, historically known for its nurturing approach through La Masia, has shifted under financial strain. The need for quick success has eroded the patience that once defined its culture. Yamal's situation is symptomatic of this shift. A club that used to protect its youngsters now relies on them to stay afloat. He may be ready technically, but readiness does not equate to resilience. His development should be guided with restraint, fewer minutes, more recovery, structured mentoring from veterans who have walked the same path. It's easy to romanticize Yamal's rise, the boy from Rocafonda conquering the football world. But the fairy tale risks turning tragic if his guardians fail to balance ambition with care. Look no further than players like Pedri and Gavi, whose early brilliance has been dimmed by injuries. Both were overplayed, both heralded as saviours, and both now struggling to maintain consistency. The parallels are alarming. Barcelona cannot afford to repeat history with yet another prodigy. In the broader picture, Yamal's story reflects football's systemic problem. A sport addicted to immediacy. Clubs chase revenue, federations chase trophies, and broadcasters chase headlines. In this machinery, the player becomes a commodity, not a person. The conversation must shift from how good can he be to how can we help him last. Protecting Lamine Yamal means more than resting him occasionally. It means rethinking how modern football treats youth. Proper rotation, medical supervision, psychological support, and a clear long-term development plan are non-negotiable. The stakes are higher than they appear. Yamal isn't just another teenage star. He represents hope for a generation disillusioned by the commercial excesses of football. His humility and flair remind fans why they fell in love with the game. To see such a talent consumed by exhaustion or injury would be a failure not of one club or coach, but of the entire sport. Football must learn to cherish its gifts responsibly, or risk watching brilliance fade before it truly blooms.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
The conversation around Lamine Yamal must shift from awe to responsibility. Football has always been a stage for wonder, but true greatness demands more than talent. It requires protection, patience, and perspective. The world has seen too many prodigies rise too early, only to fade before their potential fully blossoms. Yamal stands at that fragile intersection between brilliance and burnout, a symbol of both hope and warning. Barcelona and Spain have a duty far greater than winning matches. They must safeguard the essence of what makes him special. If they succeed, Yamal could define an era. If they fail, the game risks losing yet another young star to its own greed. The alarm bells have been rung. Now football must listen.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.